Hey guys, sorry about that. Anyways, we were talking about my gender identity kind of changing and kind of staying the same over time. A good way to think about it might be like the difference like between identity and expression, perhaps. I feel that my gender identity as a genderqueer trans guy, until there's a better word for it, is kind of my core gender identity, but my gender expression of that might change daily, so depending on what I wear or whatever. So I don't know, that might be an interesting way to think about it. Um, so getting more into this week's topic about masculine and feminine spaces and people who identify with but differ in those spaces, I guess. I don't know, it's a little bit hard not knowing the actual context of what happened at the Philly Health Conference, or like what they exactly meant by that. But it made me think of the Fem Conference in Oakland. One of the genderqueer bloggers that I follow just recently wrote about their experience at the Fem Conference being a trans guy, and how his identity was kind of put on trial a little bit, in that it was mostly, femme lesbians, and they felt that there was masculine energy in their space, even though the trans guys that went identify as femme. So it's really an interesting topic, and I'm not sure if there's necessarily a good thing that everybody can agree on, because everything's just so fuzzy. On one hand, I believe that groups should have a chance to have their separate space if they need it. On the other hand, I feel that those groups should be based on self-identity. So basically, you belong there if you feel that you belong there. So, I mean, who am I to judge whether someone is feminine or masculine or whatever, because that's just based on stereotypes put forth by society. So it's really, what you identify as, and just taking that as at their word, and making sure that spaces are inclusive of everybody. So, yeah. What else? Um, so yeah, it's kind of hard to expand upon that unless I knew more about what happened at the conference or how that dialogue went. But I do think that space should be open for all who identify as such, and the more that you break things down within the community by trying to find people exactly like yourself, the smaller your community is going to be. And I mean, I kind of experienced that as well. In my group of trans guys, I don't feel that I'm as masculine as they are, so I'm like, oh well, I need to find a different community that's more like me. And so then, genderqueer community is a different thing, and that means a lot of different things to different people. So nobody's genderqueer exactly like me either. And so, if you're trying to find a community in a group that's just so specific, then you're missing out on a lot of different viewpoints. And so, I mean, that's one thing that I have to be okay with, is that nobody is going to have a gender identity that's exactly like mine. And I wouldn't want them to, because I like being a unique little snowflake. So, just Yeah, conferences are always hard because you have, an hour or two to go into these topics and start a dialogue, but not necessarily make any conclusions or any way to further that dialogue after the conference ends. So, um, yeah, but just as long as everybody comes from a place of respect for people's personal identifications and, um, just not worry so much um, about, masculine or feminine, this or that, because, even if it's important to your identity, that's one thing, but if you're judging other people, then you're just looking at stereotypes. And so, um, yeah, there has to be some way to move past that. And I would really like to have a complete like redo of what even is masculine or feminine because, it's stuff we made up. So, I mean, the only people to say that this is masculine or this is feminine is the society. And, if I am carrying a purse and I identify as masculine, then it therefore would be masculine to carry a purse, but society wouldn't say so. So I think the whole gender everything just needs a complete revamping. But that would be a long way off. But we can start. And hopefully, by sharing our thoughts through this channel and getting your responses and furthering this dialogue, then we can get closer to that goal. All right, so hopefully I covered everything, and I apologize for being late on lots of stuff. I was having a lot of technical difficulties and etc. So, all right, thanks for joining me, and I will see you next week. All right.